Hey, friends. I was talking to a guy this afternoon, and he said that he disagreed with me on who Jesus is. So I thought I would come on here and talk about this. He said he was probably nothing more than just a prophet or a good man. The thing is, I told him, I said, you either believe he was who he said he was, the Son of God, or he had to be completely insane to make the claims that he did and to do the things that he did. C.S. Lewis once said, and I'll probably butcher this a little bit because I don't remember it entirely, but he said, either this man was and is the Son of God, or he was a madman or something worse. He said you can shut him up because he was a fool, or you can spit at him or kill him as a demon, or just fall at his feet and call him Lord and God. But we cannot be patronizing enough to spew this nonsense that he was nothing more than just a great human teacher. He really didn't leave that option open for us. And you have to remember, too, that if you call him Lord of your life, then that means he has power and influence and authority over you. A Lord is a master, a ruler. We bow down to him. We give him all of our hearts. We were designed to have an all-consuming pursuit of the heart of God, but we've somehow come to believe that we're self-sufficient. We can do what we want to do. We can pick and choose the parts of the Bible we want. We think we're just too busy to even pay attention to the Bible, and we're so distracted, but we sure have become accustomed to the comfort that we live in. I think in America we call this cultural Christianity. There are people that I meet all the time who go to church on Sunday, but their lifestyle and their behavior doesn't look anything like the gospel the rest of the week. The problem is that what we aren't learning in our churches these days is that we were created by God for the purpose of God. We're reliant on him and ultimately responsible to him. We're supposed to reflect and multiply his glory everywhere we go. When we walk into a room, people ought to notice something different about us. We bring Jesus into our lives for what we can get from him instead of what he's already done for us. Some of us have been taught that we need to obey God, a legalistic form of, because of fear or sense of obligation. But these are biblical realities to an extent, but to a greater degree, obedience is granted to us in the person of Jesus Christ. It's out of our relationship. Once we fully understand the affection that he has for us and get a revelation of his love, it prompts us to show our own affection back to him, and obedience comes out of that. In John 14:15, it says, because we love God, we have the privilege of obeying him. Not legalistically, not because we have to, not because we want to get into heaven. We're not following rules just to get to heaven, but in a relationship that comes out of an intimacy that allows heaven to get into us while we're here. See, all of our identity issues are a fundamental misunderstanding of who God is. Guilt and shame are just a misunderstanding of his grace. Any kind of control issues that we feel like we have to exert are a misunderstanding of his sovereignty. And anger is just a misunderstanding of his mercy. Pride becomes so important to us, but that is because we misunderstand his greatness. Trust issues are a misunderstanding of his goodness. These are things that many of us are struggling with, but if we are, all we have to do is let God be the loudest voice in our lives. So often when things don't go our way, we question God's word. We doubt his love. Then we choose our own way. But that's because, there's prosperity preaching out there that makes us feel like God's going to answer every single prayer we have, and he's going to provide all we need. But the one thing I would remind you is it's not about us. It's about him, his plan for your life. It took me a long time to figure that out. I have struggled. I have been through some really tough times. I lost my son. I worked night and day to build a business that collapsed. I've been accused of doing things that I didn't do. But you know what? Through it all, my perspective has stayed that, God, this is a part of your plan, And whatever happens, I know that you're going to get the glory because I'm going to give it to you. Because I'm going to know it's a part of your plan. And as I go through some of these tough times, I'm learning more and more about myself every day. The perspective that I have now on the way things happen and the way things are going on means I don't have the ability to say anymore, I've got this, God. I tell him every day how much I need him. I tell him every day that he's the Lord of my life. And I'm going to tell you something. In the midst of some stuff that I'm going through that some people would just don't even understand how I'm able to do it. I'm not. But I have a God who loves me. He's right here with me. He's going through it with me. I know that in the end, he's going to get the glory. And that gives me peace. That gives me peace that I know I would never have without him. Please, friends, recognize who Jesus is. Invite him into your life and truly make him the Lord of your life. We're going to come back here pretty soon and talk some more, but I hope that this touched somebody or gave somebody something that they needed to hear today. I appreciate your time. Thanks so much.